The most expensive thing in Rainbow Six Siege has just dropped, and it is the Paragon Valkyrie bundle, or what I'm going to call an Elite. So this is going for 5,000 credits if you do not have the Battle Pass, so that's about $40. Now you do get a lot with this because all of the stuff in the bundle seems to be better quality than what you would expect to get from an Elite. And of course, the most famous one you would have seen so far is that her MPX skin folds out when weapon inspecting into a sword. But also, it has a fancy reload animation that was shown off by COREROSS, who decided to buy this bundle. And this reload animation is also very loud. You don't seem to be able to switch off the audio for it, which is a pity. Now, going into the bundle's contents, we've got what you would mostly expect when it comes to an Elite. We've got the headgear, we've got the uniform, but everything in this bundle is animated. And of course, this stuff is in a very medieval fantasy style. And I think you're going to hear this from a lot of people, but this is certainly not my taste. I would not be looking to pick this up, but I imagine this is going to sell extraordinarily well. And we were a bit worried that you wouldn't be able to pick this up with R6 credits, but thankfully that is the case, so you can, which means you can obviously just get it from selling stuff in the marketplace, then using that to go buy it. And of course, just like other Elites, this will not be sellable on the marketplace. You can see the Valkyrie cams there, very nice, but probably pay to lose. And then we have the weapon skin, so the Valkyrie one, of course, being the most fancy and the one that actually breaks out into a sword in weapon inspect. But I'm surprised about the other two. I was kind of thinking to be more default skins, but they're both actually very nice. And of course, they can be used on different operators. And I'll also say that this makes the stuff like the membership skins look like trash, because this stuff is way better than what you would normally get for weapon skins and attachments and basically everything, because this thing does come with everything. It even has a player card. This is maybe the most interesting part for me because I'm quite into my player cards, but this is one piece, so you cannot use the animated Valkyrie with a different background. It is just this, and you can only use this if you decide to go for it. It'll override both the portrait and background choices. And then just like an Elite, you've got an MVP animation, which shows Valkyrie with her sword and her cameras flying around. I've got nothing negative to say about this one. It just looks kind of cool. And of course, it should be showy with it being an MVP animation. And then we also have an animated charm as well. And this looks actually really cool, I have to say, because you can put this on every single weapon. This is actually one of the most unique parts of this entire bundle, I think, because it applies to everybody. And I'll also point out here, you can use the Valkyrie MPX skin on Warden. He can then use the weapon inspect and get all the fancy stuff going on as well. He also has the fancy reload. The animation for the weapon inspect is client side only, so that means that either if you're looking at a Valkyrie or Warden in game doing the weapon inspect, it'll just look like a normal weapon inspect. But from the Warden's point of view or the Valkyrie's point of view, it'll be animated. And if you, of course, are dead and you're watching that person, you will see the animation play out, and it probably shows up in kill cams too. However, interestingly, the animation for the reload can be seen by the players looking at you, so that's quite interesting. Now, presumably, this is just the beginning of these kind of Elites, and we might see potentially something like one per season perhaps show up, and I assume it'll come down to how well they're going to sell. I think this is going to sell really well, so I assume we're going to see more, and it just comes down to how long it takes Ubisoft to pump these out.